What does the first look at Avengers Endgame toys reveal? Oh, what a time to be a Marvel fan, as we saw last week when a flood of images popped up on Twitter and Instagram of new Avengers action figures sitting on store shelves. And of course, like all toy reveals, these were packed to the brim with info, details, and tidbits surrounding the next Avengers outing, Avengers Endgame. So strap yourself in because we are going to break it all down right now. Now keep in mind that these new details could potentially spoil some of Avengers Endgame, so if your endgame is to see Endgame unspoiled, consider this your endgame about this video about Endgame. Alright, so quick reminder, be sure to subscribe so that you can get all of our videos breaking down everything DC, Marvel, Star Wars, and more. Now let's dive right in. The toy picks appear to be from a store in Vietnam and features most of the major Endgame players from Hulk and Thanos to Captain America and Rocket Raccoon. So let's start with the big bad that we know so far, Thanos. And it looks like he is adding a weapon to his repertoire, a sort of propeller axe sword combo. Now we've seen concept art of this weapon before, but this toy seems to confirm it will make its debut in Avengers 4. One other big detail jumps out at us from the Thanos figure. If you zoom enhance on his Infinity Gauntlet, you'll see that it's looking pretty fresh and new with all of the stones in place. Last we saw, the glove was looking pretty crispified, which makes us wonder if there's some time stone tomfoolery or if it was restored to that so fresh, so clean status with a little soap and elbow grease. Next to that big guy is the other big guy, Hulk. The Jolly Green Giant is wearing that high-tech armor we've previously seen in leaked art. Now, we're still not completely sure what this armor is meant for, militarized defense, space travel, etc., but we suspect that it's for cruising through the quantum realm. Many have noticed that the armor shares similarities with the armor Hank Pym wears while searching for Janet Van Dyne, so many are theorizing that the team will don the new suits to get super tiny and hang out with some amoebas. Also, the fact that Hulk is wearing this full suit of armor and not his typical cut-up ripped jeans shorts lends fire to the idea that we'll be seeing him as Professor Hulk, the version of Hulk that's a balance between the intelligence of Bruce Banner and the body of the Hulk. In any case, check out that piece of concrete rebar included with the Hulk toy. Whatever level of intelligence Hulk will have in Endgame, it looks like he'll still be up to his old smashy antics. Now, shifting from these smaller, more articulated toys to the Titan Hero 12-inch figures, we see that Valkyrie is back. Last we saw of her was at the end of Thor Ragnarok when she and the rest of the Asgardians came up against Thanos' ship, the Sanctuary 2. We're not exactly sure what happened afterwards, but it's suspected that she led the rest of the Asgardians away from Thanos and his crew, while Thor, Loki, Hulk, and Heimdall stayed behind to stop or slow down the Mad Titan. And it makes a ton of sense for Valkyrie to lead the Asgardians while the rightful king, Thor, has been tied up fighting Thanos with the Avengers. Valkyrie is one of the older Asgardian characters. Thor mentions looking up to the Valkyries when he was a kid.
I used to want to be a Valkyrie when I was younger, until I found out that you were all women.
So she's a good fit to lead the surviving Asgardians in Thor's absence. And it looks like Val is wearing her silvery white and gold look from Thor Ragnarok. It's worth noting that she's not rocking the same special suits as the surviving Avengers, so she is probably not jetting off into the quantum realm with the crew. But since she is part of the toy lineup, we suspect that she is joining the Avengers squad. But you know who is wearing that special suit? Rocket Raccoon! We have seen him wearing this suit in a previous toy leak, so this confirms that the first time we saw this armor was legit. And right next to the trash panda is his buddy Star-Lord, who is still in his helmet and dusty jacket from Infinity War. Does this confirm that he will be making a comeback in Endgame? Well, if we take a closer look at that packaging, notice how Star-Lord's look has been inspired by Avengers Infinity War. We see a similar graphic on the packaging of the Iron Spider and Black Panther toys too, which indicates to us that they probably will not have a huge presence in the film, but Marvel still wants to cash in on them for when they come back to life at the end of the film. We also get a close-up look of Hawkeye in toy form. The Endgame trailer finally confirmed what we all suspected, that Hawkeye would appear as Ronin in the new flick, and this toy gives us a closer look at him in his Ronin hoodie and mask. But the bigger deet here is the toy right next to him, which seems to spoil a new look for Black Widow. First off, Black Widow is back to her red hair, losing the platinum blonde bob she had while in hiding. And second, check out that long red ponytail. Even if she's been taking a ton of vitamins, it takes some time to grow a long ponytail from a bob. I know, extensions. Since we've seen her with the same blonde bob from Infinity War in the Endgame trailer, if this long hair is to be believed, we can assume a decent amount of time will pass over the course of Endgame, months or possibly even years, unless this red hairdo is actually a red herring. Next up, we see that Cap is back in his classic Stars and Stripes look, with the leather helmet mask and his shield firmly back on his arm. Last we saw, Tony Stark still had the shield after Cap gave it up in Civil War, so it's likely we'll finally see some sort of kiss and makeup session between Tony and Steve, with Cap getting his shield back. In addition to all this info on the front of the toy packages, we also get some tidbits on the back. From the pictures on the other side, it looks like Iron Man will still be around and rocking his nanotech armor, which probably gets restored or replaced after he gets rescued from the Benatar in the trailer. Overall, these might be the biggest details that we get. Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige has said that we're probably only getting promotional footage from the first 15 minutes of the film, and if these toys are any indication, a lot of stuff will be going down during the film's runtime. But what do you folks think? Was there any detail that we missed? Do you think since there was no Loki toy, he's really gonna stay dead? Where's Groot? And what about word of that bigger threat we saw in the original Thor toy leak? Let's discuss. Be sure to like, subscribe, and mash that little bell to get notified every time we drop a new video or go live with the show, like tomorrow with Bizarre States. Andrew Bowser and I are joined by longtime friend of the show, Jeremy Corbell, to talk about his Bob Lazar documentary. You won't want to miss it. You can watch Bizarre States live on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific on Nerdist YouTube, Geek and Sundry's Twitch, and Alpha. And if you missed the show live, you can always check out the podcast version for free wherever you get your podcasts.